If you're spending a lot of time during your day in front of a screen, this video is for you. In this video, I want to share mindfulness practices that are, in my experience, very valuable if you are working in front of a screen most of your day. Because I feel that working in front of a screen creates a lot of tension inside of us because it's so intense. It feels for me like I'm forgetting myself completely, and if I'm finished with work, I feel tense and I need some kind of balance. This is my feeling. So I tried different kind of methods how I could find a better balance in my life, even if I'm working in front of a screen and not having a lot of time to take off. So I spend most of the day with my work, and for this I try to find different kind of methods that would bring me some kind of balance, relaxation in my daily working life. In my experience, the most easiest thing to integrate is to make short breaks. So you set a timer and remember yourself, maybe every 45 minutes or after 1 hour, you set a timer and then you remember yourself to make a break for at least 3 or 5 minutes. And what I'm doing in this break is I'm completely putting my phone also aside. I'm just taking that minutes for myself. And the best for me is to go outside if it's possible and just breathe the air and touch the ground with my feet. The best would be to do it barefoot, but if it's not possible, it's also very good to do it with shoes. You just feel how your feet are touching the ground and you feel that connection. And then you try to stay with yourself like this, or you can also take a very short walk for just 5 minutes and feel your feet during your walking, how they are touching the ground. And if you can do this for only 3 or 5 minutes until you continue with your work, you will feel more connected to yourself and more grounded. And this is already a bit relaxing for me. Then if I'm doing a lunch break, I have to remember myself to put my phone aside, because I'm always tending to doing too much. So if I'm in that work mode, I'm tending to work like crazy, but this hasn't to be like this. So if I'm taking a lunch break, it's possible to spend that lunch break without my phone, without anything. And there are different possibilities how you can use this lunch break to practice some kind of mindfulness method. But what I like is, if there's good weather outside, I really can recommend to go outside for half an hour every day, to sit in the sun, to go for a short walk if there is some even little kind of green space next to the place where you live or where you work, just to be in that little green space and watch the trees, see this green color of the trees, or look at flowers and try to connect with your surrounding. This will already be a big help to come back into that moment, to connect with yourself and what is surrounding you. Because when you are in your phone, we often tend to lose the connection to ourselves, because we are that much focused on what we are doing inside of that phone, let's say. So we lose that connection to ourselves, and this brings, in my experience, tension. And if I can just do half an hour in my lunch break for myself in the nature outside, this is very helpful. What I also like is to relax if there's not the possibility to go outside or it's not good weather, whatever. Maybe you can find a place where you can sit comfortably or lie down. And what I can recommend to you is a method that is called body scan. If you Google that, or I'm sure there are so many YouTube videos on that, you can try to do a short session of that body scan technique. And it's a very beautiful method to come back into your body and feel the parts where there's tension and intentionally relax them. I like this method because it's simple and it brings a more deep connection to your body. If you're having already some experience with mindfulness practice, the most advanced technique for me is to watch yourself while you're working. Because when we are working in front of a screen, I feel that it's very difficult, but at the same time it's so helpful if you can watch yourself, how you're working, and during the working process you recognize where there are tensions, how do you feel inside, things like this. And if you are just watch that process, it's immensely helpful and it brings relaxation. So for me, this is a step further, because first I try to do that short sessions, to integrate shorter sessions into my daily life. And if I'm practicing this for some time, then I also try to integrate that watchfulness during my working process. And if you are able to watch yourself while you're working, then there's a big shift, because then you might not feel that tense when you're finished with work, because there's already a lot changing how you work, and this brings relaxation during your day. So then you don't have to do an extra mindful session, but you're integrating that meditative space, that awareness into your work. Especially if you're working in front of a screen for a long time, I can recommend all kind of grounding practices. I feel that they are very helpful. So if you're sitting on your desk, for example, you can really put both of your feet on the ground and try to feel the connection between your feet and the ground from time to time as you remember during your day. This is very helpful to ground yourself. And what I can also recommend from my experience, what I tried, is to put some plant on your desk. It's very helpful to have some connection to nature and also to see that green color with your eyes. This is for me also very balancing. So even if you're not going outside, a plant on your desk can help a lot in my experience. And maybe from time to time you can touch the leaves and feel that connection and come back into that moment through that plant that is working with you on your desk. So I like this. I don't know if you like plants, but for me this is a big help. Also to clean the air. I enjoy having plants inside of my working room. If you want to go a bit deeper and you are working a lot with your mind in front of a screen, then I can really recommend you to do the OSHO no mind technique. I will link that technique in the description below this video, because for me it's one of the most powerful meditation techniques. If you are a lot in your mind, it's a technique, no mind, to come out of the mind. And I feel I did it a lot. I feel it's very powerful, and you can do it without anything. So if you have, let's say, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or half an hour, you can try to do that technique. I made another video about that technique, and I will link it here. So if you're interested to try it, you can watch this video. I hope that this video could inspire you to try a new kind of mindfulness practice technique if you are working a lot in front of a screen. I wish you a beautiful day and hope to see you in the next video.